Just from last game, players of the game. On offense, Jeremy McNichols, who got his fourth consecutive Mountain West Player of the Week, so proud of that. Certainly he's been doing a tremendous job this season. You can go back and look at this year's numbers, last year's numbers. I think they speak for themselves. I'm not sure that we have to say a whole lot. Proof is in the pudding there. Defensively, Darren Lee, and also had the punt block. We all know what Darren did coming into the game there and the way he played. Excited about watching him prepare this week too. He's been tremendous this entire year. O-line, Mario Yaku. D-line, Sam McCaskill, and the hard hat went to Ced Wilson for his returns and the punt return, certainly. This week, just prep-wise, a little bit different week. We don't have school, so these guys have a little more time to come in here and spend on football, watching tape. We can be around them a little bit more than a normal week. These guys do have things they've got to get done and catch up on for class throughout this break, but it gives us a real great chance to spend time on Air Force and a little bit more meeting, a little bit more focus, and getting ourselves prepared to go play on Friday. Air Force 8-3, very good team. Quarterback who's playing here, I think the last few games, Worthman. The guy can fly, very good player, strong, does a great job, threw the ball well in the last game also, which those guys do. I think they're well coached. I always think that about Air Force on the offensive side too. And their offensive coordinator, O-line coach, all those guys, running back coach, do a great job with their players. Owens, leading rusher, and then Robinette, wide receiver. This guy's an NFL type receiver. He's got the size, he's got the tools, he's got the ability. He is a threat, and certainly has developed, even in that system, into a big-time player and makes plays. And he's one of their leading targets without question. And when guys are probably going to get one-on-one coverage with him, he's able to go and make plays. Defensively, number one in sacks, very good in the red zone. Pressure-style defense. And Steel Hammer, their safety, the guy's a ball hawk. He's around the ball all the time, makes plays. Very good football player, very smart. And I've seen this guy the last couple of years and plays extremely hard for them and really leads them in the back end there. But and all the other guys, they're going to do their jobs. They tackle well when you do get in space. Don't see a lot of guys making plays on those linebackers because these guys will come up and they'll tackle you, and they do a good job of that. Special teams, a little bit like we've seen in the previous games, and probably down there with the elevation and all that too. I don't know how many returns you may have a chance of getting because of that, but when you do, both sides I'm sure would say this, you got to take advantage of it. So we're looking forward to it. We've had a normal week. We'll practice today, so we've always had Monday off, but the way the schedule is with no school, we'll practice today. So we really have a normal week going from a Friday to a Friday. So we'll have that, not that flipping a Thursday practice into a Friday night. We'll have our Thursday practice. We're going to have our Friday normal practice, travel there, get there, prepare like we normally do, and then get ready to go play on game day for us, which we think is Saturday. I know it's Friday, all right, but that's kind of how we look at it throughout the week. But excited, looking forward to practice today, and these guys, I know these guys are looking forward to it as well. So with that, open for questions.
Just curious, going into this last week, how what the feeling's like, not in control of things and everything, and just how crazy that ending was in the game Saturday. And your players were so open about saying they were going to watch the game. Do you worry at all about them getting back up after maybe being deflated with that result on Saturday?
No, and certainly, I'll say like I said before. Until we go play this game, all we can control is playing Air Force, and regardless of what any other teams do, we can't control that. We can control this week of prep. We can control what we do when we play Air Force. Guys watch the game, and what does that mean? It just means that we got to go out there and play our best and finish up this season. I think our focus, it's not about what anybody else is doing. It's really about us. And we've got a lot to prepare for this week. We've played Air Force the last couple of years. It has not gone our way. And so if anybody's focused on anything other than Air Force, we'll figure that out in a hurry at practice, and they probably won't be out there playing because we need everybody's best. going into this game. That's really what it's about. And at the end of the season, when the final game is over, all these conversations will be had. I think everybody's in the same boat. We don't know what's going to happen. We kind of talked about it 2 weeks ago about college football is going to get flipped on its head. And, you've got some teams that lost, and you've got some teams that are playing, not just us, but in college football in general. And those guys are focused on those games this week. So that's where our mind's at. Our mind's on, and we had talked about this before the season ever started. We looked at our schedule. We knew that we were going to finish with Air Force. We knew that it was a team that we wanted to go play, and it was going to be about finishing at the end of the year and finishing with Air Force at their place. So that really hasn't changed. Nothing's changed from when we started this season to where we are now.
I know you said you won't necessarily stump, for awards, but Jeremy, I don't know how it's possible, but he's kind of flown under the radar nationally a little bit. Where does he stack up in terms of the backs you've had, and obviously, certainly he's probably deserving of some of that attention too.
Well, I think when you guys asked, are we going to just absolutely go out there and just promote everything? I don't know what else he has to do. I mean, look at the stats, right? If anybody is watching and following college football, how is this guy not in the conversation with everybody else? I don't get it. So if we got to go out there and put banners up and do all those things, I mean, if you're a college football fan and you know what you're looking at, look at the stats. And he hasn't done this just 1 year. He's done it for the last couple years. He's one of the best backs in the country. He's the most productive player. He's put up touchdowns more than anybody else. I mean, I don't know what else, from an offensive standpoint, a guy can do to not have his name thrown in there with all these other backs. And to boot, he's on a pretty good football team, too, that has a pretty good record right now. So I don't know how high the standard is, if it's perfection, but he is about as close as anybody's ever been here from that standpoint. How does he stack up to all the other backs? Comparable to all the great ones we've had here. He prepares himself, he's ready to play, he makes plays, he wants the ball in his hands. He's a fantastic young man, very humble, very hungry. This type of stuff, any competitor, I think, looks at those things that you do individually. You're excited about it because what are you doing? You're helping your football team. This is what he's asked to do from his teammates, is go play his very best. Well, his best is better than most. And I think just pop on the tape, look at the stats. I don't know where else you got to really look at to find if he's one of the best out there.
Lots been meant about the Air Force offense being difficult to handle, but their defense has done a pretty good job against you the last couple of years. What makes their defense strong, and what gave you guys problems the last couple of years?
Well, 2 years ago, turnovers. I think that that could have been against anybody. They do a good job. They're well coached. They tackle well. They play physical. You got to play physical back. And that's one of the key ingredients. And you got to play fast as well. You may have some limited opportunities as far as number of drives when you play Air Force because they're able to run the football well. We had a 19-play drive last game, probably one of the longest, this entire season of any team. So we just got to take advantage of our drives. You got to be able to run the ball. You got to be able to throw it and execute, which last year there were opportunities. We didn't connect on them or execute them as well as we could have. And when you're playing a good football team, you got to do that. So I think their defense, special teams, offense, it all ties in together. They do what they do. They do it well. Their players believe in it, and they're good at it.
You mentioned Air Force, knowing the game was at the end of the season, the last game. I know you don't look ahead, but how much has this been a game with you don't lose the teams, at all once, but twice in a row, very often around here? How much has this game, whether it be the offseason or wherever, kind of been always on your guys' radar coming down the stretch here?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been on it. It's been on it the entire season. Now we're playing in it. We certainly, as a football team, we haven't shied away from looking at this game being at the end of the year. Not looking forward to it, but knowing that it's going to be there. And certainly looking forward to going and playing our best game. We want to play our best football, which I think we're doing a pretty good job of that right now. I think we're close to playing some of our best football that we played this entire year. We're going to need that, but we want to play our best game against Air Force. And you're absolutely right. I think before I got here, San Diego State was that team. We were able to find a way to win when they were here. And, our guys are looking forward to going and playing. So this is a big game for us. There's no doubt about it. It's a big game. It's the last game of the year. It's against a team that we haven't beat the last 2 seasons. And make no bones about it, we're ready to go out there and prepare and go play, and we want to win this game.